Governor Greg Abbott says the crisis along the border is out of control and something needs to be done about it. So today he issued a disaster declaration providing more resources to combat what he calls an influx of unlawful immigrants. Let's take a closer look at what this disaster declaration includes. It will use all necessary and available state and local resources to protect private landowners from trespassers and damage. It directs DPS to enforce all federal and state criminal laws regarding trespassing, smuggling, and human trafficking, and discontinues state licenses for child care facilities under federal contracts to detain or shelter undocumented immigrants. Now, this got us wondering what exactly is happening along the border with the crossings. We checked with the U.S. Customs and Border Protection website, which tracks the number of border crossings every month. Take a look at the numbers for the past 6 months. In November, only about 7,800 crossings were reported at the border. Look what happens. That number keeps growing in December and January. And then look, in February, it jumps to 25,000, then jumps to 62,000 in March, almost 63,500 by April. You can read the full disaster declaration on our website, khou.com. You'll also find the story on our homepage.